I'm Leah Stacy. I was an arts journalism master's student at Newhouse for 2011, 2012. It wasn't that long ago. And while I was there, got into some business courses and some video courses, which led to what we're going to talk about today.
I'm Pete Weiner. I was a magazine, newspaper, and online journalism grad student at Newhouse, also from 2011 to 2012. So, and yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of multimedia courses and a lot of magazine writing courses, which I hadn't really gotten into before, so it was certainly beneficial.
I'm Kevin Kennedy, and I didn't go to Newhouse, but from what I hear, it's a wonderful school. So.
The Bly Project's mission is basically travel and immersion journalism for social good. And so that means that not only do we do like your typical travel journalism, but we also get into this idea of immersion where we really put ourselves in the middle of the situation and do more storytelling than just documenting things per se. And sometimes we'll have an experience ourselves and then do a story that way. And all of it we like to be for some purpose, for some theme or some reason, and to really make a difference to people, or at least make them think.
And our current theme is kind of exploring what the American dream means right now. To people across the country, finding out where that stands.
It was in a Starbucks in Mississippi where we found out that we were going to be funded. Like, it was clear that we were going to be funded that day because it went from $250 away from the goal to $190 away from the goal, and then $90 away from the goal. And so it was just all within the span of all in the span of a cup of coffee, basically.
Yeah.
And so then we were just like, well, we want to get to Vicksburg, but let's just stop and see if we get funded in the next 15 minutes or whatever. And we did. And when we did, it was just just so exciting. It was just it was at once celebration, obviously, but also just a sort of quiet moment of realization. It's like, wow, 90 some people believe in us enough to give money from their personal pocketbooks to us for our venture. And that was just such an encouragement and such, sort of an affirmation of what we want to do. And it's like, okay, we no longer have to worry about people believing in us. Now we just have to go and do it, and that's the easy part. So it was exciting.
A buzz. I mean, not just us personally, but because of people who believe that there is a future. Because of people who are working to make sure that there is a future. I don't mean the Bly Project. Hopefully we're part of that.
We are the most egotistic people in the world.
We will save journalism.
We didn't actually try it.
Yeah, we didn't try it, but we did. Well, we sort of tried to see if it would work.
Yeah.
We pitched a couple of times in different competitions and stuff. The Bly Project, same name, but as a journalism workshop for high school students that would teach them storytelling skills through immersion. We would take them to places like a ranch or the city or something where they've never been, and then through immersion and adventures, give them experiences and then teach them how to relay those experiences into multimedia stories. Which is I think it's a great idea. But after a couple times after rethinking it and giving it some time on the shelf, we went back and we were like, there are so many things that could go wrong.
Liabilities.
So many liabilities. And so when we would pitch, you script a pitch as much as you can, and we would say what would it be like to take high schoolers on a ranch? What would it be like to take them with one of the New York City subway workers who has to explore the tunnels and stuff like that. And then when we went to New York on this trip, we went obviously a lot in the subway, and we just pictured it and we were like, that was such an awful idea.
Yeah.
Can you imagine children wandering out of the subway and you're like, what is going on? Like, what kind of person would send children into the subway?
We're
Like,
standing on an abandoned platform at like 2 in the morning, and we're like, no.
It's like, well, no, not at all. And then we were like thinking about different taglines. It's like, I got typhoid fever with the Bly Project, and it's just it's so awful. And so I mean, it's a great idea, but maybe we were a little ahead of ourselves on that one.
We probably all have different answers. I love how models similar to ours are emerging, where it's like you take a theme, like narratively. That's one that we've been following. They take a theme every week and they produce a different story every day on that theme, and it's basically a freelance collective right now. We were very interested in is it Homicide Watch?
Mm-hmm.
What they're doing is, I mean, fascinating. And again, it's taking one theme. You know, it's just documenting homicides. And so I think what we're onto here with themes, like any media company that's doing that, or startup that's doing that, it seems to be really grabbing attention right now. So that's inspiring to me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, whereas I think the temptation, and I'm no expert, but from what I saw, like the temptation for journalism in general was just like, okay, we're a newspaper or a news outlet, and we're going to cover everything, but we're not going to go that deep into it except for like, you know, special reports or investigative reports. And now it's like, well, no, that's stupid because you can't cover everything with any degree of like completeness. So like you know, StoryCorps or Narratively or the Atavist or you know, any of these, or Homicide Watch, that say, okay, we're not going to try to cover everything. We're going to take a different approach and a less conventional approach, and we're going to cover this. We're going to cover it really well and we're going to use all the storytelling tools at our disposal because they all work in different ways for different stories. And so that's, you know, that is really encouraging for sure.
I don't know specifically, but I guess what's encouraging for me is the past few years, it seems like there's been a lot more, I don't know if I'd say respect or acknowledgement, I guess, of alternative news sources and independent means, everything from StoryCorps to Narratively, and kind of a move away from traditional means of dispensing information like that. And so that opens up the door for, you know, startups like us or Narratively or StoryCorps or anything, you know. Like every city we went to has, you know, 2, 3, 4 alternative news weeklies, and it's just that opening up of that is encouraging because that really gives us an in, you know.
It's like the Wild West right now.
Yeah.
And so I guess, you know, we would always pitch it like, let's go to Cowboy Kingdom. But now we're like kind of like journalism cowboys, so it's pretty cool.
Let's change our name.
Journalism Cowboys.
Journalism Cowboys.
What do you think?